Hey guys, so in this video we're going to learn how to draw isolines. So let's start with question number 1. Let's zoom in. So on the field map, draw the 500-meter depth isoline. So if we look at this map that's given to us in question number 1, we notice that this is a topographic map. It represents a surface on Earth. And just the meters just tells me that it must represent elevation. In other words, these might be contour lines. So notice that they already drew some isolines for us. For instance, this 200 line right here, every single point on this 200 line represents 200 meters. Because I know meters because it's given to me right here. It also, yeah, that's about it. If I look closer again, every single point on this line is 300 meters. Every single point on this line is 100 meters. Every single point on this line is 0 meters. In other words, sea level. Remember, sea level is always at 0 meters and so on. And every single point on this line is 400 meters. Okay, so my job right now for this question is to draw the 500-meter line. And to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is find all the numbers, the 500s that I can find on this map, and circle them. So I'm going to start from the bottom and look for all my 500s. Let's see. I see a 500 right here. I see a 500 right here. I see one right here. I see one right here. And I see one right here. I don't really see any other 500s. The thing is, I'm not going to start connecting these lines or dots just yet. I know there must be other areas on this map that must represent 500 meters. It's just not written down for me. So my next step is to figure out where the other hidden 500s are. And to do that, I'm going to start from the very bottom in this case. And I'm just going to look at in between different numbers and see if 500 falls in between them. For instance, if I zoom in over here, I'm going to start from the bottom. 500 is not a number that's greater than 450 and less than 494. So this is not it. 500 is not a number between 494 and 475. It's not a number between 475 and 450. It is, however, a number between 450 and 560. 500 is greater than 450 and 500 is less than 560. So 500 must fall here, right? So what I'm going to do is draw a little star. Okay, very tiny, not too big. Okay, so 500 must be here. Let's look for where else 500 might be. So I'm not going to worry about this. I already circled this 500 because I know 500 must be here. And if I have 500 here, 500 can't be a number between 500 and 560. 500 is already here. So I'm going to move on. 500 is not between 560 and 565. It's not between 450. Actually, 500 is between 450 and 560. 500 is greater than 450 and 500 is less than 560. So 500 must also be here. I'm going to draw a star. What about here? 500 is between 460 and 560. So I'm going to draw a star right here. So 500 must be in all these three places so far. Let's see. 500 is not between 560 and 570. It is between 450 and 570. So I'm going to draw a star here. So it's okay if you miss some spots where you 500 might be there. Just try to look for all the areas that 500 might be there. Try not to miss any spots. 500 is not between 550 and 594, but 500 is between 450 and 550. So I'm also going to draw a star right here. Let's keep moving. 500 is not between 575 and 550. It is between 490 and 550. So I'm going to draw a little star here. Keep your stars really small. These are just to mark where 500 might be. And don't make it too dark. You might need to erase it sometimes. Next, let's see. 500 is not between 490 and 460. It's also not between 400 and 490. Remember, every single point on this 400 line represents 400. So you can also count this. Okay? Let's see. Where else? 500 is not between 540 and 550. What about up here? 500 is between 450 and 540. So I'm going to draw a star here. 500 is between 530 and 460. Draw a star here. And let's see. Also notice something right here. This is actually not all of your 500s. Do you see this line here? This line represents 400, right? So if this area is 400, because this entire line, if I follow it, represents 400 meters, every single point on this line is 400, that means this is 400 and this is 565. 500 is a number between 400 and 565. So I'm going to draw a star there too. Notice that I'm trying to find all the 500s, as many areas as possible. So if you find other areas that you might think 500 might be, draw stars there as well. Okay? So I think I got most of the 500s. I could draw one over here. This is my 400 line. 500 is a number between 400 and 550. So I'm going to draw a star here. And let's see. I'm just checking all my lines. Okay, so now that I looked through my entire map and tried to find all my 500s, I circled my 500s. I also drew stars for where I think my 500s are. Now I'm ready to connect my stars and my circles. Okay, so I'm ready to create my isoline. So let's start with this 500. Even though I drew a circle around 500, I'm going to make sure my line goes through the dot for 500, okay? Make sure you do that. Okay, so I'm starting from here, and I'm just connecting. So from this dot to this star right here, from this star to this star right here, from this star to this star. Careful that when you're drawing these lines, you're not going through an area that might not be 500. So now where do I go? I'm stuck here. I can't just cross through from this star to this star and go through 550. I need to either draw my line from this area and go to that star, or this area and go to that star. To figure out where I should go, let's see what this line represents. This line represents 400, right? That means all the points on this line is 400. 500 is a number between 400 and 550. So maybe I can draw more stars to lead my way. So I'm going to do that. Okay, now I have a pathway to my other star. So I'm going to go that way and that way. Now I have to figure out whether I should go this way or down, right? So if I went this way, 500 is not a number between 400 and 490. So I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to connect from this star to this 500. Remember, connect to the dot, not the circle you drew. Now where should I go? I can either go this way, draw my line this way, or this way. Well, 500 is not between 550 and 594. I'm not going to choose that. But 500 is between 550 and this line right here that represents 400. So every single point on this line is 400. So 500 is between 400 and 550. I could draw a star here and keep going. So here, I could connect to this 500. Here's a star. Let's go that way. And then I could either go this way or straight this way. Which way should I go? Let's see. 500 is not between 540 and 530. I'm not going to go that way. I could just connect to this 500 dot right here. And then 500 is between 450 and 530. Let's draw a star and keep moving. So if at any point you don't know which way to go, try drawing more stars. And then this star connects to this star that I drew before. This star connects to this 500 dot. And look, I'm already drawing most of my isoline. Now where should I go? Well, 500 is not between 540 and 550, so I'm not going to go this way. But 500 is between, this line represents, remember, this line represents 400. So if I go back, 500 is between 400 and 540. So I'm going to draw another star here to lead my way. So I'm going to go through this star. And then I already have another star drawn. I'm going through here. Please remember, never cross isolines. That means that these two lines represent the same numbers. They don't. Each isoline is this unique number. And then this star can connect to this star. This star can connect to this star. And finally, this star can connect back to this 500. And, oh, sorry. here we go. This is my isoline map or topographic map, and this is my 500-meter isoline. Please remember to always check which way you're going. If you accidentally go to the wrong way, your entire line might be wrong. Draw stars as you go, and make sure your stars are small, because sometimes you might have to draw additional isolines on the same map. And that's it for now. Go ahead and try map number 2 on the next page, this map.